Hello, everyone. It's John Vandermeulen with the Promotions and Marketing Committee, Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War. And I'm here today with Kevin Tucker. We're going to talk to him a little bit about what it's like setting up a national encampment. Brother Tucker, go ahead and introduce yourself to us.
Hi, I'm Kevin Tucker. I'm a past department commander from Massachusetts. I've been with the Sons for now 27 years, so I've seen a few national encampments. I've been on the National Encampment Site Committee for, seems like 30 years, but it might be about 8 or 10.
My goodness, that's a lot.
So it's a lot of encampments and a lot of experiences, but it's quite gratifying. I respect and admire all the things that Sons of Union Veterans do, and this is one way of lending service to the organization that put those things together. So
Indeed.
It's a great...
So as you know, we are about to begin our national encampment for the 2023 year. This would, let's see, I've lost count. How many national encampments? Which one is this one?
For me, this is the 142nd.
142nd. So we've been doing this for 142 years. My goodness. So given the fact that you've been intimately involved with the preparations, the planning, the coordination of all the various pieces and parts and components, talk a little bit, if you would, about what are some of the things that you've learned in order to do this. How do you do it correctly? How do you avoid certain mistakes? How do you avoid the landmines that may be out there? Tell us a little bit about that.
So from somebody visiting the encampment, it looks like everything flows pretty nicely. However, you have to put those things together, and that planning takes about 3 years, really. You can do it faster. In my case, I can do it faster because I've been doing it for so long. Somebody starting out might be a problem. So first, you have to find a department that wants to host it. It takes a lot of work. You need a team on that department of about at least 5 good people that are going to stick with the project the whole way through. The next thing is to find locations. So you comb your local area hotels for, one, they have to have the facility that will hold us. Then they have to have the rate that we can afford, and then from there you build until you find the best one. The prices on banquet, how close are they to the airport, restaurants in the area, all those kind of things. Then once that's done, they submit a proposal to the site committee, to our committee, and we will visit those areas and scope out the hotels and pick the best one. Not always the one that they might think is the best. Like in 2008, we did Peabody, Massachusetts. That was our third choice, but the site committee came to town and said, this should be your first choice for the following reasons, and all of those reasons that I named. So once you're accepted and the site committee has said okay, they sign a contract on behalf of the national organization to host it there, and then the fun begins, and that's planning it, making medals, souvenirs, planning the banquet, entertainment for the campfire. There's as you can see, I'm wearing a shirt. These are fundraising shirts.
Of the Allied Orders, yeah, I see that, yeah.
Right, so the actual encampment is called the Allied Orders of the Grand Army of the Republic because there are 5 Allied Orders.
Sure.
It's not just the Sons of Union Veterans, and all are invited, although the auxiliary always meets with us because they must. Some of the other organizations like the Daughters of Union Veterans or the Ladies of the Grand Army of the Republic or the Women's Relief Corps may have different dates where they meet, so they don't always meet with us. But
I see. Okay, my goodness. That's a lot. That's a big project.
It is.
It really is. So how many of these have you helped organize?
I would say that, so again, I've been on the committee for about 10 years or so, but I organized the 2008 encampment. I assisted in the 2005 encampment, and that was the last one that was in New Hampshire. The 2008 was my first, it was my baptism of fire.
I'll bet.
It worked out great. It was, you learn a lot of lessons every time.
I'll bet. I would imagine that first time down the road, you make a few mistakes, freshman mistakes, and learn from them. What kind of advice would you give to departments out there that are wanting to host a national encampment? What should they really look for, or what problems should they avoid? Those kinds of things.
So the first is that I published a guidebook. The committee published a guidebook that's available to Sons of Union Veterans on the national website. look through that and see all the pieces that you have to put together. That would be the first thing. And what I would say is, don't be afraid of it. You know, we're all very smart people. We can get through this and figure out how to do it, and can afford it, and can raise money for it, and get a lot of cooperation from a lot of places. It's a way kind of to show off your department or your city.
Sure.
And all the great things. You know, we did when we did. Again, I'm from Massachusetts, so of course I'm going to show that off. So we did, the Freedom Trail in Boston. We went to Mount Hope Cemetery. Saw some of the sculptures there. We went to. We did a boat tour of Boston Harbor and George's Island with Fort Warren, which is an old Civil War fort.
Sure.
Great historic things to do. So. You get to be close to home and show what a great department you have and how everybody works together and gets things done.
So if you were to advise them on one thing that's probably the most important thing to remember, not to forget, what would that be?
So look at me. The one thing is, make sure that the ladies are happy. Because if they're not, men can get by. Women, they're going to tell you. So
Interesting. And of course, we have our national auxiliary, our ladies auxiliary, who is meeting in the same building as we are, just in a separate room.
Right.
But because they are a member of the Allied Orders,
Correct.
They're important.
Correct. Yeah. Very important.
Yep.
As are the LJR and the daughters and the WRC, and the ladies auxiliary certainly helps make this thing great. And that's the other thing that you need. You need a good auxiliary to pitch in and help. And they have some great ideas, and they are as dedicated as we are.
Indeed.
And so that gives you another, group of kind of motivated people to draw from for your committee. So,
Sure. Very good. Well, thanks for spending time with us today. Appreciate
My pleasure.
it.
Thank
All right.
you.